Good morning. I am just about to go to the horse show and oh man, it was tough to wake up. I woke up at around 8:40, I would say. I was definitely having trouble sleeping last night. It's tough. I feel like definitely having Riley in my room does contribute to my nose getting extra stuffy. I am really tempted to try an air purifier of some sort because that just sounds amazing, going to sleep with a fully clear sinus and just breathing smoothly. I do not think I have 100% had smooth breathing when sleeping in my bedroom in a very long time. So air purifier is tempting, but I think it might be at least $100. I can do some research, but I'm concerned about the money. It kind of sucks, right? We're so willing to spend money on things that are fun, but something like an air purifier that can improve my quality of life, I'm reluctant to buy. So I might actually ask Shane and try his out. He has one that he's not using, and he says that I could try it out. But I need to go out to the horse show.
Okay, don't worry. Keep going. That's a girl. And yeah, kind of right on where Dan's at.
Where's that? Stick his head over the fence.
You'll be alright.
Honestly, how he does over the jump.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Oh, come on, just get over the jump.
Okay.
Woohoo! I love it.
Miniature horse. I believe my trainer said that this was a rescue. They have two dwarf horses. I don't know where the other one is. Here we have a Palomino colored horse. As a kid, Palomino was actually one of my favorites for some reason, but that has since changed. Look at the braids. So beautiful. Hello. Not even looking over. The neighbors are making noise. Next one. Hello. So this one actually has a color that I really like. I'm not sure the official color for it, but it seems like a paint style where it's just like splashed color, and I think this one's really beautiful. Relatively new horse, not a school horse. It's just being boarded here.
Love you, Catherine.
Way to go. Well done. And third place.
All right,
There
Melissa.
you go. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming out. You guys did amazing. And now we're going to get ready.
I'm assuming it's recording because it turned off audio signals, but I stayed just for one group, which apparently it was two groups, and it was 2 people and then 3 people. I just probably have weird ideas when I think of show. I think that people generally want to ensure that they're really experienced before they do it, but some people seemed like they were really new to riding, or they would do the whole course in a walk, and I thought that was a little weird. But maybe some people just really want to belong, fit in, participate. Just takes me a couple seconds to remember that what I feel is not what other people feel. All right, I am going to head back. do I get bubble tea? I am not sure about that. Only 11 a.m. What am I supposed to do with my life right now? I don't really know. I just feel like it's a little bit too early to game. It's just, I feel like I'm still waking up a little bit. I kind of realized that I tend to have this desire to be great when I play these games, which I don't think is very realistic, because whenever I see the pros playing and talking about it and knowing everything about it, I always tell myself that these people spend almost all of their free time playing these games because it's their job and they have to learn everything. But me, as someone that wants to play these games for fun, it's just not realistic for me to expect to be the best at them or feel like I need to put in the time to be the best. So when I bought Smash, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna practice and I'm gonna make myself really good, similar to my mentality when it comes to Artifact. And I just kind of wonder if I'm at a different phase of my life where none of that is ever going to be realistic, because I don't see myself liking the idea of playing a game all day. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think for me personally right now in this stage of my life, I like to do diverse things. So I have noticed there would be times where I'm playing Artifact all night, and it's not like I'm not having fun. Partially I'm not having fun, because if I'm playing for that long, usually it's because I am losing a lot and I want to win, so I keep queuing to win. But aside from that, I just feel like, oh man, I've been sitting here the whole time. I haven't been doing anything useful. That's usually what I think, but it's obviously not true because I'm enjoying myself. Sometimes it feels like I get a lot done maybe when I play a little of Artifact or I game a little bit, and then I manage to fit in a movie, then I manage to fit in my fitness. That just feels good for me. So I do admit though, I kind of miss the thrill of playing a game all day. But even yesterday when I was playing Smash, after maybe like an hour or two, I just didn't want to keep playing, mainly because my thumb was getting sore and that makes it not really fun, and I don't really find it worthwhile to keep playing when your thumb is getting sore. So I stopped, and I actually think I might try out Zelda today. I'm not sure. It feels weird to jump around in games for me. That's just my personality. I have never been someone who played multiple games at once. So for something like Smash, to me, I would enjoy the idea of finishing that game first before I moved on to anything else. And that basically means unlocking all the heroes, completing that World of Light thing they have, and that's gonna take a while. So having some diversity and starting or trying out Zelda would be nice. And I'm just very curious, so why not, right? Good morning. Milo. Milo. This is what usually happens in the morning. Although it's usually funnier because Sammy usually comes from there as well. And then he jumps down and it goes like, burp, burp, burp. Right, Samuel? Sammy doesn't meow much, but when he does, he chirps. It's like 11. I don't really know if it's possible for me to wake up if I get to sleep in before 10 anymore. I just feel like lying there, or when I wake up, I'm still a little tired and groggy, so I usually just end up going back to sleep. Hi, it's Christmas Eve, and I'm by myself. But I didn't get to eat my ramen, right? Last time I had to take a detour because they were closed in the middle of the afternoon, so I decided to go today because I'm like, all these people are eating some really nice food and I don't really feel like eating what I cook for just this one meal because, you know, I don't do anything fancy with my food. It does get boring, so I wanted to go out and get something nice to eat. Tiny bit of dress up. Okay, so really quick before I leave, I I've been trying these out, right? The booties on Riley. And it's kind of sucking because the back legs, I feel like I'm putting them on a decent amount of tightness. I try to make sure that they're as tight as possible without it being uncomfortable. And they really can't go that far based on the way they're designed. But during our walks, they still manage to come off. And it's kind of ridiculous to me because I feel like even if she flings them with her hind legs, they shouldn't come off if they are fitted properly, but they still are. So it has led to me becoming really paranoid during our walks. Like I would keep looking behind us and checking to see if a booty is just lying on the street because it fell off her feet. So it was a nice concept, I think, to try these out because it really does suck staring at the ground, watching for shards at times. But if I have to worry about this other alternative where I have to keep looking behind us in case it falls off, then that's a stupid solution in my opinion. Plus, of course, it's probably abnormal feeling for them to walk in these. So I will probably keep them just in case for the hot days. And there's no snow here, so I don't have to worry about that. But I guess I probably won't use these regularly because of the fact that they randomly still fall off. And these are the smallest size, so I'm pretty sure even if I size up, that won't make a difference. But I do admit when I use these, I get a little paranoid that they are just designed very basically, where I feel like it might cause her foot to be more vertical than regular just because she has that extra boot on and it might make her feel a little weird. I just get worried about comfort for her. So, Milo? This guy has been complaining about wanting food all morning. They're so cute. So yesterday, actually, I spent my entire afternoon watching this Super Splat Brothers tournament, which was in Oakland. And that was so fun. It was really cool to watch because I've been watching videos on movement and controls and just doing certain moves. And I'm trying to practice and get used to them so they become instinct or whatever you call it, muscle memory. But I'm still not doing a very good job at that because right now I still fail to use my shield a lot. It's not second nature for me just yet. After I miss a move, I think it's a good idea usually to shield because while you're still in your animation and finishing it, they can usually counter you. So that's usually a good time to shield, but it's just not natural for me to shield. I also used to dodge a lot, where you would just do like L left or right and your character would do dodge, but that's not always the best way to do things for certain characters because some characters' dodge is really slow. Like Samus, she does that little roll. She goes into a ball and then she rolls and it's slow, so people can easily just catch you while you're rolling. But I am playing Marth right now. Marth is pretty interesting because that used to be my brother's main in Melee. And I did always like Marth. He actually seems pretty fun to play because he has really nice range and he's a really strong character. So I am probably going to practice with him more. I am trying to practice short hopping because I find it hard to short hop. I have watched a few videos on it, but their explanation is usually just you barely touch the button. And that works for me sometimes, but it's very hard for me to get it consistently, where I would get like 2 short hops and then I would get a full hop and I would just be trying my best to barely slide my finger over the button. But it's just tough because I feel like if I'm in the heat of the moment of playing, how are you gonna like gently glide your finger over it while you're intensely like pressing stuff and your hands are moving around a lot? So I'm still practicing. I'm mainly trying to play CPUs, maybe like level 4 or 5, which is pretty easy, but my goal usually for that is to get used to doing certain things. So for example, Marth, be down, down B. I don't know how people tend to say it, but that's his counterattack. And I want to make sure I get used to using that and instinctively using it for certain things or learning the ranges of other characters. Right now, the default that tends to spawn is Donkey Kong. So, for example, something I was learning is that when Donkey Kong does his up special, which is the spinny thing, his range on that is actually pretty hard. And at first I was like, can I counterattack his spin? No, I can't. And then at times if I try to attack his spin when I'm too close, then I just get hit by the animation. But if I do it at the right range, I am able to clip him with my sword without his hand slapping me in the face. So just learning stuff like that, and it has been very interesting. My hands get really sweaty, but that tournament was so fun to watch. I learned some pro names, which I find very cool because now I'm more aware of who there is to watch out for, and I just really, really enjoyed watching it yesterday. It was cool. And there was a lot of character diversity, which was great. I was thinking that it would just be Peach all over the place, or Marth, because people say Peach is really good, but I didn't see any Peaches for all the matches that I watched. I go now to ramen. Ugh. So this is actually it. And what I'm doing is, hello there, focus. Okay, so this button right up here is what I changed jump to. Instead, normally it's X and Y. So I'm barely brushing it with my hands. And apparently there is a cheat where you can guarantee a short hop if you do it. So I'm pressing it fully with my attack button. So that guarantees it. You can also do it down, up, down, back. But this is the regular jump, so this is the short hop. Peach! I've been losing to Peach.
3, 2, 1, go!
What is that? Ooh. Oh, what the fuck? Everyone, it has been a busy early afternoon. My day kind of started off kind of weird. I couldn't sleep for the longest time because of my nose being congested, and it's so frustrating. I didn't sleep until 5, so I woke up at 1. The first thing I did is I ate breakfast, I ate my oatmeal, and then when I was taking my shower, I noticed that I got 3 more flea bites, which is really frustrating because there was a couple days earlier this week where I forgot to put the flea medication on my cats. It was only like 4 days. It's just kind of surprising for the issue to still sort of be around, especially where I would get maybe 2 bites at a time and then it would go away for a week, and then I would kind of notice it again. So I don't understand why they're not completely gone yet, especially because I had a full 30 days where both of my pets, all of my pets I mean, had medication. So I got like 2 to 3 bites a couple days ago, and now I have 3 more. So the first thing I did was I vacuumed immediately, and then I'm going to go through my house and spray it with my flea home preventative spray just for a safety precaution. Then I did some laundry because I want certain clothes clean for when I travel in 2 days. And then I also cleaned my sneakers, my Nike Metcons. It's the white and pink ones that I have, and they've gotten kind of dirty since I bought them, so I want them to be clean again, so I cleaned them. And now here I am not exactly sure what I want to do with myself, but it has been a few days since I watched a movie, so I should probably do that. I have been on break for a couple days and watched 0 movies. That feels very weird. Uneventful Christmas, and unfortunately it was raining outside and it's been wet, so I can't bathe Riley. Kind of smells right now like dog. Not terribly, but usually when she starts emitting a little bit of dog odor, I just like to bathe her so it goes away. I don't bathe her very often at all, so I guess it would be maybe once a month or every other month. Just anytime I notice the smell coming back. What do you want, Milo? I should pack maybe, but I'm kind of lazy. I can always just do it the day of because I plan on leaving Thursday night. I could leave Thursday afternoon, but I just don't want to deal with possible traffic, especially because I'll be passing through LA and I've never driven to or around LA, and I don't want to even think about how awful it might be if I happen to run into any sort of traffic. So that's why I want to leave at night and get there maybe at like 10 or something. Right, Milo? Hi, it is Christmas evening and I am cooking right now. I'm going to make cauliflower, tomatoes, eggs. I'm throwing in some green onions in there, and then I'm gonna put in some spinach, and that's gonna be my dinner. I'm actually looking forward to this because the combination of eggs and tomatoes and scallions was something my mom used to make all the time, and I loved it. I loved it so much. So even though mine has extra ingredients in there, I feel like it will have a similar taste because spinach and broccoli, they're not really dominating flavors, I guess you could call it. Like for example, sometimes I enjoy eating shrimp, but I've realized I really don't like stir frying it because that sea smell is very dominating and then it kind of ruins the taste of the other stuff in there. The 2 main things that I always feel like takes a rather long time to soften is broccoli and cauliflower. So right now I just have oil and some water in there and I'm letting it sit for a while. I don't have a top for my wok, so it takes much longer than it normally should. But while it is going on, I will just kind of talk about things. For most of today, I've really just been sitting on the couch watching stuff, mainly because I feel like I don't have much energy to game right now. I might play some Artifact later or maybe a little bit of Smash, but today I'm feeling really lazy. I think it's most likely because I didn't sleep well. I'm sure the fact that it rained kind of contributes a little bit to me just being really lackluster. Earlier I did like a 20-minute leg workout, and I think later on, maybe in a couple hours if I have more energy, I'll probably do a little bit more. But the great thing is that I haven't really been eating terribly at all for the holidays because I have nobody to tempt me with food like at parties. So I've just been eating my usual stuff. At most, yesterday I went to a Korean restaurant, the one that I went to a while ago actually. I completely forgot about it because I haven't been there in so long, maybe a couple months now. And I have been focusing on ramen a lot, and I was devastated to find out that the ramen place that I wanted to go to closed actually. So right when I was about to leave, I was just checking to make sure that was open yesterday, but it was closed, so I had to go somewhere else, which actually really sucks. I really liked that ramen, so I'm kind of disappointed. I'm gonna have to try to find another place that I really enjoy if I ever want my ramen fix. Aside from that, today I started watching The Sisters Brothers, and I will finish it later. It stars Joaquin Phoenix, John C. Reilly, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Riz Ahmed. The latter 2 are ones that I wasn't aware were in the movie, and I actually really like them as actors, so that was definitely a pleasant surprise. But actually, maybe 3/4 of the way in, I decided to watch The American Meme on Netflix. Maybe just out of curiosity or something, and I have to say that I am very proud of myself for not knowing anybody that is Instagram famous from that movie outside of celebrities. I like to read celebrity news, but I like to think that the difference for me compared to most people that engulf themselves in that world, I basically just read the headlines and then I'm done reading celebrity news within like 5 minutes. I never spend that much time on it. I just usually browse through it because sometimes they talk about movie casting and that's stuff I like to see, or maybe there are actors and actresses that I like to see and maybe it's fun to know what they're doing. So that's my motive for it, but I never spend effort to attempt to attach myself to them. Like, notice me, please. You know how a lot of people are really like that on social media, and while watching this documentary, I am so glad I am not part of that world. I despise that world. I think it's such a waste of time, and I feel bad for the people that desperately need validation like that. So I'm pretty happy that I don't ever feel worthless, or that I constantly need company, or that I constantly need attention and to feel validated. So watching that movie was kind of a balance between I hate what I'm seeing, but this is kind of interesting, although our society just fucking sucks. I get to leave soon. Let's see. So the problem is check-in is at 4 o'clock on Thursday, and I do think ideally it would be nice to spend the day there on Thursday and then check in. That way I don't have a short-ish vacation, because it would essentially be Friday, Saturday, Sunday I check out and I can hang around the area, but then I would have to drive home, which can be a little tiring, even though it's a 4-hour drive. It's tough because if I want to bring her food and if I go there during the day, I have nowhere to store it. I wouldn't be opposed to the fact for driving there super early in the morning, so I avoid traffic. Avoiding traffic is my #1 priority. I don't see any reason to sit in it just so I can drive at a time like 12 o'clock where it's convenient. So I am still thinking about what I plan to do for that. One thing that I was planning on doing though, that I wasn't really sure I was going to go through with yet, because I had plans to hike and going to see Ojai and stuff like that. Someone that I talked to on Wow many years ago, since BC actually, or Wrath of the Lich King, he was someone I talked to a lot back then, and we played a little bit at the start of Legion, but then we kind of had a falling out because we had an argument about something. It was, I think, pretty immature, but I was pretty stubborn about it in the sense that I felt like he kind of overreacted about something, and I didn't want to deal with the backlash or him being angry about it, so we just stopped talking for quite a long time actually. Like, it's been about 2 years, so I get nostalgic, you guys know that, so I texted him a couple weeks ago and just asked to see how he was doing, and then I mentioned that I was going to be around the area, around his area, if he wanted to meet up. We might meet up. I think that's probably a guarantee actually. I do think that aspect is kind of interesting because you talk with someone for so long and you don't know anything about them in person. So I honestly feel like even though people do really connect online, I still think that you don't know anybody until you know them in person. So that's the stance that I'm holding on this, and I definitely told him this up front. I am just really, really forward about the whole we don't know each other until we meet in person. Kind of curious to see what he's like. I haven't met many people from online, and definitely in the past I didn't like it whatsoever, because as a female you just tend to have meetings where you have that underlying feeling that the guy that you're meeting up with probably is interested in you, and that's not a bad thing, but it can be very distracting for someone like me because it makes me a little bit uncomfortable during the meeting knowing that fact. Here's my Christmas meal. Something that I actually am pretty bad at when it comes to cooking is I don't actually sample what I make while it's in the pot. I just eat it after, so I put salt and I guess how much is a good amount. So there's a chance that there's either too much in here or too little, or it's just right. And even though I'm pretty excited to eat it, I'm a little concerned it's not going to taste as good as it looks to me. I'm pretty happy that I decided to cook, not like I had any other choice, because most places are closed for Christmas and I can't get delivery. She's eating her Christmas meal. That one's just chicken though. So I wanted to try out some zero suit salmon.
3, 2, 1, go!
Whoop. What the fuck? Ow. Okay. Oh, whoa, that thing goes further than my stunner. Ow, holy shit. Fuck that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Bro, ow. Oh, what the fuck? Did that grab not work? Oop, nope, nope. Oh my god, fuck. Nope. Fuck. Whoa, he sidestepped that.